Hello everybody, my name is Birdman1297 and I am your coach of the Toledo Mudsdales. And today we're going to be going over my draft analysis for the FPCL Season 3. I was actually originally not going to be taking part in this league, but they needed a replacement. We've got a few buddies over here, so I took the spot. Got in before the draft really started. I think there are a few picks in. I hadn't got to my first one yet. The acronym here stands for Franchise Pokemon Championship League, I'm pretty sure. And the franchise name is in the first round. There's a pretty interesting mechanic. We get the draft order, and then everyone picks them on, and it goes to a free slot unless it's your Mega. And if someone also wanted that Mon, they could bet you extra points to get that Mon over you. Every one of the franchise Mons cost an extra 20 points. So let's say you got a tier 1, that would be 180, it would then be 200, and then someone could bet you up to 220, 240, so on and so forth to get that Mon if they wanted it. I ended up being, because of the replacement, the last pick in the franchise round, so I didn't really have to deal with too much of the drama with that. I was going to kind of go with what was left, and by time we got to 16, because there are 32 coaches in all, but we have two, I'm going to call them conferences because that's the way I'm used to putting it, but they call them divisions. I'm in Diamond, the other's Pearl, 2 drafts, 2 divisions, Go Score and Honchkirl, I believe, in our conference, and I do not remember the other 2 names off the top of my head. We drafted together in a 16 pool, and so we're going to get into where I started. First off, we have Bane, or Kyurem Black. I was kind of surprised it lasted as long as it did to the 16th pick. Named it Bane because I don't usually like using shinies in draft leagues, but this shiny is great. Everyone knows Kyurem Black is a wall breaker, but Bane, the Kyurem Black, is not just here to break walls, he is here to break backs. Shout out to the old Batman movies from the early 2010s. I want to say, don't remember exactly what movie he was in, but you know, it's here to do damage, just wreck some shit, you know. Same old as it always does. A nice 125 HP stat, 170 attack is monstrous, 120 special attack, 95 speed. Of course, we all know the not a great physical ice move. If it had one, it would probably be in Ubers, but definitely going to be a good Scarfer for us, a good wall breaker, like I said. I'm really looking forward to using it. I haven't used Kyurem Black in a league since the first league I joined, which died very quickly. So definitely looking forward to using it this season. And like I said, that was the franchise round. And then another interesting mechanic is instead of Z users, we have Z mascots. So basically we picked one Mon, and that Mon's typing dictated what kind of crystals we used, and then that Mon could also use whatever crystal you wanted. So I put that on Kyurem Black, great Z move user, obviously. We've got the Dragon and Ice crystals available to any Mon we want, besides Mega Scizor, of course. It has to hold the Mega Stone, and then Kyurem Black can use whatever crystal we want. Not a lot of Mons are going to be able to take advantage of the Dragon and Ice stones. Besides, we've got another pick down here in a second that will be able to use the Ice. So that's nice. And then we're going to move on to Mega Scizor. So actually, when I entered the draft, there was a core I wanted to grab, Dragon Fairy Steel, that I was really looking for once I got to my first pick with Kyurem Black, Mega Scizor, and then I was really hoping Finny was still going to be around, but unfortunately it got picked, I think before I even got to Mega Scizor. I was going to grab Finny, but then it was gone, so I went and grabbed Scizor. Another great Mon, Steel, goes towards the core. Let's see, we've got a 140 defense stat, 150 attack, just a defensive powerhouse, defog, bullet punch, priority, can run Swords Dance on it if I really want to, U-turn, so can really be run offensively or defensively really well. I'm not necessarily so much on the defensive side, but it does have a little bit of bulk over there. So it's really a nice best of both worlds kind of scenario. It's going to allow me to pivot and get rid of hazards for Kyurem Black, which is really big, of course. That takes 25% from rocks. And then we're going to move on to Airy, our Manaphy. Base 100 stats, of course. Tail Glow is an amazing move on this mon. Goes straight to +3 special attack. Very powerful. That's off moves. Ice Beam, which will be nice with our Ice Z Crystal from Kyurem here. Scald gets Shadow Ball. What's the one I'm thinking? Signal Beam. Gets Signal Beam. Energy Ball. Great move coverage. It's going to hit things hard. Fairly bulky. The base 100 stats, of course. It's going to be a really nice sweeper. We've got a mon to help that out later. And then to this point, on our next pick, we have Ivory the Dawn Fan. So up to this point, I have 0 hazards setting at all. And then, of course, could always use more removal because Kyurem Black's going to appreciate everything it can get. So we went with Dawn Fan. Really good ground type, really love it. Fanfi is an adorable mon. One of my favorite ground type lines, probably Crook's great too, of course. But Rapid Spin, Rocks, it's got a pretty powerful Earthquake, 120 attack, 120 defense. Ice Shard for priority. We actually grabbed a lot of priority on this squad, which helps because not a whole ton of speed on our draft. So appreciate picking that up. Can run Stone Edge, Knockoff, I believe. Probably going to run Leftovers a lot of weeks on it. Stealth Rocks, Rapid Spin, Ice Shard, Earthquake, probably a lot of the time it comes. But it'll be a nice addition. And then our next pick is Toronto the Togekiss. Shout out to Mohi. So this was not the fairy I obviously wanted. I wanted Finny. And after Dawn Fan, I was looking, and at that time, Sylveon was still on the board. And that was kind of the fairy I really wanted. But unfortunately, it got sniped from me on the way back after Dawn Fan. I was at the 8th pick, I want to say, once we got back into the regular draft, because I just realized after the franchise rounds, we got a new draft order, 1 through 16. I ended up at 8th there, so right in the middle. I tend to have pretty good luck with drafts when I get put in the middle, really appreciated that. Togekiss is one of my least favorite, real fairies, but it was kind of the last one left. It does fairy type things. So Serene Grace, of course, is a great ability. T-Wave, Air Slash, gonna hack mons to death. Can run Roost, can run Wish, which is really the move I'm looking forward to using. It's got Cleric type. It's a Cleric, of course. Bulky, a little bit. HP stats at 85, so kind of average, not great, but 115 special defense, 120 special attack. So a good mon. I believe it gets defog. I'm pretty sure it gets defog. I don't see why it wouldn't. I haven't really used Togekiss in a long time because not a big fan, but always a good time to give it a chance. It did what I wanted it to do. Just haven't never been a big fan of Togekiss in general. Then we have Zero the Arcanine. Arcanine's another mon I never really saw myself using in draft. It's not one of those mons that I was just drawn to immediately. It's very versatile. It can be run bulky, it can be run offensive. E-Speed, 3rd priority move here. Really good mon. It's Flash Fire, Intimidate. Doubt I'll ever run Justified, but it's an option. And options never hurt. Probably going to be Intimidate most weeks. Decent speed stat at 95. Both of the attacks are pretty high. Gets Morning Sun, I want to say. Close Combat, Crunch. Pretty good coverage. It's a really solid mon. Just never one that really popped out at me. Really looking forward to use it. It's going to help take care of the grass types that kind of, not too grass weak, but, it helps with them and whatnot. Ice types a little bit. And then we're going to move on to our second portion of the draft. And next here we have Netflix the Swadloon. He's all cuddled up. He's ready to Netflix and chill. Originally, when I was looking at web setters, because I really wanted webs for Kyurem Black and Manaphy, it's going to be clutch in a lot of games, I'm feeling, to have those two mons under webs, get them to outspeed a lot of things, and then it's just, they tear holes through teams just like that. Manaphy with a little bit of setup, and Karen Black just does it naturally. This is things always coming with an Eviolite, probably. Not obviously it's an NFE, but the defense stat goes to 120 when it's under Eviolite, or no, 125, and then, or no, 135. Sorry, my math is wrong there. And then special defense goes to 120 under Eviolite. Webs, I did a calc. I think Ice Punch from Mega Glade on a max HP, max defense Swadloon has a chance to 3-co, which is kind of wild. That's without any setup from the Glade, of course, but it's pretty crazy. Looking forward to using it. Could be a really good wall. Looking at it, and again, webs is really what it's here for. Completes my Water Fire Grass core. I'm not the greatest grass type per se, but I don't usually stress grass types too much on my drafts anyways. So looking forward to using it. And then Meteor here, you're going to see, does not have a nickname. At this point in the draft, I didn't really have a pick ready, and they got to my pick, and I don't like making people wait, so I just kind of grabbed something that I've had experience with before, grabbed a Meteor real quick, kind of regretted it afterwards, so we actually made a transaction after the draft, so he's not going to be here. We'll go over that after we get through everyone else. And next, I wanted something that could kind of up our speed tiers, because at this point, I don't think we yet had anything that got over base 100 speed. Let's see, because Karen Black's 95, 75, 100, 50, 80, 95. Yeah, we didn't have anything that got over 100 yet. The speedy electric types, always nice to have. Of course, hits hard, and we have Geico the Heliolisk. I've had a little bit of experience with Heliolisk in draft before in a former league. That draft was wild. Tell you about that another time. But it's fast, gets access to Surf, Focus Blast, a few of the electric moves, Thunder, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Specs, Life Orb, mainly one of those two. Maybe a Scarf if I really wanted, but probably not. Probably going to be Specs or Life Orb. Fast electric type. This can allow me to pivot a little bit. I think I only had one mon to this point that could really turn besides Meteor, but Meteor's not going to be sticking around, as I said earlier. Then we move on to Prodigal Son, our Necrozma. Now, good buddy Rye runs the BFDO. Talked about doing playoffs for that. Maybe I'll upload Week 8 match with Kamala. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that yet. We'll see how that match goes, and maybe I'll upload that. But Prodigal Son, our Necrozma. I was looking, and I needed more rocks at this point. Had one rock setter in Dawnfan. And I had enough points for a tier 1 if I really wanted. I'll have to go over the points a little bit better later, because we got 500 points for 5 free agent mons, or not, 5 free tier slot mons. And I had enough for a tier 1. I was looking at Terrakion, but then I saw this pop up, and it's a lot more versatile. Can be run defensively, offensively. Again, I got it mainly because it got rocks, and it's very versatile. 127 special attack, 107 attack can set up. Great coverage. I don't remember everything it gets, but I remember looking through this earlier. Totemize, Brick Break, Calm Mind, Dark Pulse, Dragon Pulse, Earth Power, Earthquake, Facade, Flash Cannon, Psycho Cut, Psyshock, Rock Polish, Rock Slide, Rock Blast. Gets an amazing move pool. Can do a lot of things. It's going to be really nice. Got a really good core of high tier mons that I'm really liking with Karen Black, Mega Scizor, Manaphy, and Necrozma here. I'm really enjoying that core. And then next, I wanted another rocker, and I wanted something that was kind of going to replace Meteor. So I grabbed Toothless, our Aerodactyl, a 130 base speed. Gets access to Stealth Rocks, which is really nice. Choice Banded. It's going to be a Choice Band set most of the time, probably. It's going to outspeed most things that aren't Choice Scarf. I mean, there's a few things running around. I believe it ties Coco. Let's see. Oh, what's that other trash? Electric type Zeraora. Runs at 145. It's going to be faster. A couple of the Megas, Mega Aerodactyl, of course, but I don't think anyone actually drafted Mega Aero. But I'm pretty sure someone drafted Mega Zam at least. I know that runs at 150. So, outruns a lot of things. Can run Choice Band, hit stuff hard. Stealth Rock's a very fast Stealth Rock, which comes in clutch. And it's going to be able to hit things hard without having to be under rocks if I really want it to. And then we're going to get down to our last pick here. We're going to get down to Hapini. This was kind of just a meme pick. Shout out again to Rye, actually. This is nicknamed after it. He's a big fan of Hapini here. A very big fan. And his league is actually a logo of Necrozma in the background with a little Hapini sitting in front of it in the BFDO. So it's a really cool logo. Really cool guy, and the league's great. Just picked it to just shout outs to him, get the logo going on the team here. And I had another meme going that got ruined by someone else. They sniped them on. That was kind of crucial to that. But what you're going to do, it's memes. Not like it's going to, I doubt this comes at all, but if it does, maybe I'll meme week 7. Because we're going to have 7 weeks in the regular season is what I'm understanding. We play everyone in our own divisions. Again, I'm going to be calling them divisions because that's what I'm used to. Top 4 from each division go to playoffs, so 8 from each conference, so 16 in total is what I'm understanding. And then 16 on the other side, so 32 of the 64 coaches are going to be making playoffs. It's going to be pretty exciting, I think. I'm really looking forward to it. Got a few buddies in this league. Ollie is over there. Nay, Rye. Oh, actually, no, Nate dropped. Rye's in here, though. And then Blue, the owner. I've known him for a little while now. We don't always get along, but he's a good guy. He's in my division, actually, so we'll get to play him sometime this season. And then week 1, we're going to be facing Chatter and his Chicago Chatots. If I get a chance, I'll go ahead and throw that up on screen down here. Maybe his team at some point. I'm not sure how the editing is going to go for this video, or if I'm just going to not bother with it on this one. But really looking forward to this season. If you have any questions for me on the draft, maybe I skipped over something, feel free to leave a comment. We're going to aim for playoffs, of course. This would be the second week. Hopefully, I make it in BFDO, like I said before. We're aiming for playoffs in that. I promised to explain the tier list. So another interesting thing about this draft that actually allowed me to grab Necrozma was they have a ban list system. So they have the tier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then each tier below it had a ban list. So Necrozma actually was banned from tier 2. So it was worth 160 points. And then in the free picks as well, yeah, and then 50, tier 5s were 20 points. But there was any mon that wasn't listed in tier 5, you could get for 0 point. Well, actually, you got an additional point for drafting it. So you got it for free, basically. And that's how I got Swaddloon, which was pretty neat. Got that for free. Got my webs, got my Eviolite. It's a great mod. And then, almost let myself forget to take Minior off here. And then we are going to add Miss Magius. So basically, I didn't want Minior anymore. Someone else had tried to draft it. They hadn't realized I had it. And we had got a 36-hour free period. So I'm like, hey, go grab Miss Mag. And I'll trade you Minior after the draft. So we did. Great special attacker, decent special defense. It's another speed mon. This gets my speed tier up there. Can block rapid spin if I ever really needed to. We're not super hazards heavy. 3 rockers and then the 1 web setter. But it could be nice, especially with webs, because I'm going to want to keep those up. I think our offense can be a little bit specially leaning. But I have some mons that can kind of lean both ways. Kyurem, Necrozma here can lean both ways. And I'm really looking forward to it. Maybe we'll make some changes later in. Maybe I'll drop a Pini eventually for another tier 5. But Really looking forward to it, and I'll see you all in the week 1 video versus Shatter. Have a good one, and go Mudsdales.